Hi everyone, so today I'll be reviewing a game I just finished against Souda Samsip from France. So here I was playing black, and it's a short game. I think it's 13 moves. 14 maybe, yeah, 14. And I'll show it to you because we can talk about a few themes, important themes in it. And yeah, we'll go through it together. So he started with casual e4. I always answer with e5. Yeah, I don't really know how to play either d5 or some kind of weird gambit on f5. So this is my usual opening. He goes with the knights. I go with the knights. So it's two knights and three knights opening. So I never usually go with the fourth knight because for me it makes up for two classical game, and I love having this bishop on c5. It's really a very good position for my bishop, in my opinion. So here we can see I've played 5 times with this account, and I lost 3 out of 5. So not very good win rates. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this was the last book move of the game. So book moves, if you don't know, are basically the moves that constitute your opening. So here we have a 3 knights game, 3 knights opening. This is the opening. And then we'll go into what we call the middle game. So he goes on to do a normal move, opening up the bishop on the c file here. Maybe to go and touch the queen if I put out the knights. But it has a disadvantage. It blocks the bishop here, which is the Spanish bishop. Very, very important because it hits the king behind. Okay, so I love getting my knights out. Yeah, just very far-reaching pieces, and yeah, just it's the best move. Nothing to say here. Same for him. Best move. He comes and he pins directly my knight to my queen. That's something that chess schools usually say. When you can pin a piece, pin it. Here, I went with my usual response. I just try to push the bishop away. I knew it'd go back. And here, I didn't do one of my common mistakes, which is to push here. This would have been, I'm not sure it's a mistake per se, but I've learned that it's not that interesting. See, it said it's excellent, so it's good. But here on this, I'm not so good. I mean, I've destroyed my king side, and yes, I've brought on pawns, but then here it has a safe space where it can pretty much hit important pieces. So that's not what I did. I decided to push to open my bishop this time. And because I already took out my bishop, it's not blocking anything. So here I can just go and hit here, which is helped here by the knights as well. Okay. He sees this and puts the bishop in. Always check also the eval bar. I think white starts with a 0.3 advantage, something like that. So here I've regained it with his mistake early on. Here, this, well, it says it's good, but it's definitely not the best move. Let's see what they find for us for this move. Okay, so here they want me to push now. Maybe because now that I have my bishop out, this looks less dangerous. Okay, so this, my idea here by pushing the knight, is a classic idea. It's with this, I take back, and now it threatens the knight, which has to find a spot. And I like this this pawn here in the middle. But while I was playing that, I was scared of, well, if this bishop goes away, and the queen goes in front, have a pretty powerful attack here by pushing this pawn, this e-pawn, since I only have a defense here. Okay, so this is a blunder. It was just to show you how it is. Okay, so, but the thing is, he didn't do that. He pushed his knight here. So Stockfish would have preferred here, but this is not bad apparently. And I'm at plus 0.8. Now this is my mistake. I mean, one of my mistakes. It's an inaccuracy. So here my plan was just infiltrate and bring the queen to an uncomfortable position. But here they're still asking me to push it. So what I told you earlier about it being not a very good idea, well, you can partially scratch that because timing is everything, obviously. Okay, so takes, but here they would have preferred here. So the important thing about all of this is that this knight is overloaded. I hate doubling my pawns, and here if he takes, that's what's gonna happen. He can take here. So what I should have done is basically, well, no, let's say after the knight, okay? Here, I should have pushed, because it forces to go back. But then I thought of that move, and I thought, damn, I'm in trouble for something. If, imagine, he takes here, okay? It looks like a bad move, but hear me out. Takes here, and I mean, I want to take back, because, I mean, it looks logical. But then I thought, oh my god, what if he takes back? Then I have a double attack on my knight, and I couldn't find a good way to defend it. Like this h6 rook doesn't work, so I have like literally no way to stop it from being taken. So that's why I didn't push my pawn in the first place. But what I forgot is that here, with takes, I can take here. Wait, I think. Anyway, I should have pushed. But no, I decided to take. And then he did a mistake because he didn't take right away. He should have. And now I find the move. And now, for me, and for Stockfish, obviously, that's a blunder. I would have seen, during game, I thought this was way better. So it's still a mistake, but it's not a blunder. Obviously it's way better because of what I showed you before. This and this. Okay. But of course the best move after was going back. So he took with the bishop. And here, I took back, which is apparently the best move. I wasn't sure about it. I was wondering if I had to take. I mean, voila. And here, big blunder. Big blunder, why? Because here, I have a double attack coming. If you see it without looking on the right for the moves, take a little moment, pause the video, and try to find which of my moves here instantly wins. Okay, so the move that I did was the great move, knight takes d5. So what it does is pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty logical. I take a piece, seemingly exchanging it after a pawn takes, but it opens up for this line up to g5 with a very dangerous queen, hitting the long castle and hitting this vulnerable g2 pawn. So here, yeah, that was the only move that was acceptable. So he takes, and I take. Now I'm in +4 in material. I'm plus 8.4 in the eval bar. I'm really good. Another of his mistakes. So here the coach said that this allows for forced checkmate. Let's see what he could have done best. Okay, so here Stockfish sees that by doing the castle, there's very quickly a vulnerability. So what I see then is two things. I see first that this bishop, this C bishop, hits here, which is a theme that I love to practice. Because look, on this, if you're not familiar with this pretty much forces to lose the rook. Why? Because if there's not a pawn push, there's checkmate, which is inevitable. The king can't move anywhere, and even if the rook tries to move, there's still no space for the king. So, seemingly, here, this is the best move. Seemingly, I'm saying. They say queen f3 is the best, but it still puts you in a very dangerous position. Okay. And at this level, I'm not expecting them to find queen f3. Okay, so but I did not play this move because the other thing I saw, was that the rook had an open file, thanks to the pawn I took here, which opens the rook files. This, always remember as well, it's important for your h pawn to eat on the right, like very quickly, because it opens a very interesting file here. So I planned on my opponent's incompetency, and I just played this best move, queen h6. So as usual, just pause the game, pause the video if you want to find out what my plan is, and if you can find out the best move for whites in this position. This is the terrible move, pawn to c4. They say it's an inaccuracy, but it's just blundering mates in one. So, as you must have seen it, this is mate, because the king can't take back. It's protected by the rook. Okay, so what was white's best move? White's best move was this one. Because I can't take here, risking losing too much material. However, I'm going to try. I don't know what black's best move here is, but I'm going to try a sacrifice just to see how it works, okay? Let's see what that gives us. Okay, it is the best move. It is the best move, so here something important to understand for beginners is that material isn't everything. Here, first thing, I'm up in material, so I can allow myself to give up material if it gives me a tactical advantage. Here it gives it a huge tactical advantage, right? So if they blunder and take here, it's not a blunder visibly, but okay, I wouldn't have said it's the best move. Boom, takes, and now, I mean, it's just forced. I do not know how this goes on, how we can go on with this, but it's basically made in two. Wait, how could we try to stop this? Let's think together. Because the queen can't go anywhere important. They could go here, I guess, but it doesn't stop the mate, because there are two different mates, here on h2 and here on h1. So this game gave us interesting insight here. Well, there was incompetency on the other sides, and I'm not one to criticize, of course. But here it's allowed us to go over a few themes, a few important themes, like sacrifice, like pinning, like pawns going to opening up for rook files. So if you have questions, if you have things to say, go down in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks, and see you soon.